Hello, and it's Sunday the 20th of October. It's Sunday. It's peddling down with rain, so it's one of those can't be bothered to get a shave. What's the point of getting a shave, and what's the point of doing anything on a day like this? So I thought I'd do this little vlog um, about Amsterdam, where I returned from there a couple of days ago. I mean, that was a 5 day trip, and I I I I apologize if for those if I promised people that I was going to do lots of videos and that sort of stuff. I physically couldn't. I physically couldn't. You know, it was beyond me. In the olden days, I would have done stuff like that, but this is but that's then and this is now. I have physical mobility issues, which means that I can't walk very far. I made it into Amsterdam on twice during those 5 days, and I I couldn't walk properly. And the following day of one of those visits, I slept slept for 18 hours. I was at 24 the next day. 18 hours I slept. I sort of tired out every muscle that I haven't used for many months. For those who don't know, I've been tied to the hospital for the past 5 months, and that was only 4 days after my final radiation therapy session that I ventured out to Amsterdam. I thought it'd be all right. But it was a disappointment. But then perhaps I was misguided there. I was expecting to do the things that I used to do there, but it never actually happened. I stayed in a hotel most of the time. There's also a change of mood in Amsterdam. It used to be a very safe city. I never had a problem there. Even walking around at night time, as long as you don't stay into the dark and shady areas. I always felt that at the night time, no one, there's no street hassles there. But there are now. There are now. There's a lot of shady people who, how can I phrase this? Look like they come from another continent, not European, a different continent. That's how I think I can get away with saying that. And they're hanging around the alleyways in numbers where I don't recall them, hanging around before. There may have been one or two, but not groups of them. So there's definitely something going on, and this could be related to the girls there, being greedy and demanding lots of money, and then telling you that all the other girls charge the same. I didn't indulge in any of that, by the way, uh, because if you're going to pay that kind of money, then you better make sure that you can perform right, and I can't perform right. Well, I'm not so sure about that I can perform right. Let me just put it that way. You can guess the rest. Still a handful of beautiful girls there, but that red light scene, looks to me like it's being played out. It's being played out, and there's less girls there in the windows, and what are they? They're commanding a lot more money. And I think these shady people from another continent uh, are playing a. I think they're getting some of that money. So it's. I've had a good innings. I've had some great trips to Amsterdam in the past. Some beautiful girls who are lovely and welcoming and you win you over, and but scene's played out, especially for me. And also of these people, shady people from another continent. Uh, I don't know what continent they come from, but it's definitely not European. They don't look European. There's some shady bastards amongst them. Now I'm walking around. I've got to stick with me. I'm clearly disabled to an extent, and they still harass me. I had one shady bastard who followed me and offered me drugs, and which I refused, and I said go away, and he tried it on. No, I didn't have any visible valuables on me. I had my little bag strapped, with some money in there, and I had my jacket zipped over that. So this bastard followed me, and then because I wasn't interested in what he was offering, he then tried it on. He said, "Oh, well, about 20 euros for tips." Was he giving me a tip on expert opinion on stuff that I wasn't interested in? I don't know, but he followed me, and he kept saying 20, 20, 20 for tips. How about 20 for tips? I said no, 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 repeatedly to him. So but I thought about it later. Why was he hanging around? Because he was constantly looking at me, looking at my body and what I had to, what that he could steal. He eventually caught on to because I never wear jewelry. There's nothing to steal around my neck, on my hands, and any valuables I had clearly weren't visible. So even though I'm, not the traveller that I was, I still exerted an amount of common sense when it comes to showing you valuables. He couldn't see the little bag that I had under my zipped up jacket. So he scarpered eventually. But I thought if I had anything of value in my pockets or elsewhere on my body, he would have had them. I mean, I mean, disgusting, absolutely disgusting behaviour. How our great European cities have allowed themselves to become like that. And there's lots of these people hanging around from a non-European continent, a continent other than Europe. I mean, I won't say any more because it'll be deemed as not politically correct. So Amsterdam, there's a shady. Amsterdam is not the safe city that I've known from the past. It's not the fun city. It's now become a shady place. So anyway, as for mobility, how do people react when when you're traveling and have mobility issues? Well, this is my first time traveling with mobility issues. I still can't get out of my head that I'm not the traveler that I was before. So I went to Amsterdam as an experiment. I went there as an experiment. So how do people react when you're staggering or you have to sit down and can't get up again? Well, I found that most people, almost all people you encounter, they are they are helpful. People are people, especially when they're on holiday. They're only too willing to help. I struggled to get out of. I had a window seat coming back. I always choose an aisle seat, by preference, but I couldn't get one, so I settled for the window seat. And I I uh, I, I was sitting there okay, but when I got up halfway, needing to go to the bathroom, I had to ask a couple, a European couple, uh, to move out the way. So they did they did. But I was in economy, so I found I couldn't get out the chair. I managed to move my body over to the aisle seat, but I couldn't get up. I just couldn't lift myself up out of the chair. And so the guy, the young guy, I asked him for help, and he was only too willing. He gave me a hand. He gave me a hand, he yanked me up, and even on the landing, after the plane had landed, he helped me with my luggage, laptop. People, he was a good guy. They could see that I had problems, so he was a good guy. I have a funny way, well, not that I'm laughing, of climbing downstairs. I find it easy to walk upstairs, but climbing down, I look at that flight of steps ahead of me, and I think that's precarious. So I tend to come down the steps, facing the steps, up backwards, in other words. And some of those steps at Central Station, to get the bus stops upstairs. But the street is down, so I need to, because the lifts were out of order at that station. I had to, and the escalators moved too fast for me. I looked at them; they are fast. I couldn't risk stepping on one of those escalators, either going up or down in case disaster, because I can't move that fast. So I found the stairs were safer. It's okay going up them as long as I grabbed a handrail, but coming down them, that's more precarious for me. So I grabbed I go down backwards, but I grab the handrail and move slowly. And some European guy, you know, said to me, "Do you need a hand? Are you having difficulty? You need a hand?" And I said, "No." I said, "No. I know it looks strange to you, me coming down these steps, holding the handrail with both hands, and but I can manage it." But it was just nice of him to offer. It was people are like that, But what you've got to be aware of is people who walk briskly. In cities they walk briskly, and I've seen this in supermarkets as well. You get this person who's got his mobile phone in his hand and he's deep in conversation with someone, and they're not always aware that people might be coming up behind them, and they're likely to step backwards. Now, I can my balance is. Oh, it's getting better, but it's not 100%. And I can easily be knocked over. I can easily be knocked over by someone stepping backwards on his mobile phone, banging into me. Yeah, I'm wary of people banging into me. So, people on mobile phones are the worst, because I've known people on mobile phones who were so wrapped in conversation that they walk backwards. And, but, I've known that before a lot of times. As for the city centre of Amsterdam, a lot of those well-known bars, uh, they don't have toilets, which are on the level, um, on the ground floor. They have them either upstairs or downstairs with very precarious steep steps, and I can't do that. I just simply cannot do that. So I never went in pubs. I was naive before. I was naive. I think I said I'll be doing live streams from pubs, which have always got copyright music in it anyway. So Amsterdam really was a bit of a bummer for me. But I mean, for those who say that I wasn't really there, and there's where are the videos to prove that? Well, there is a little video on the Steady Eddie live channel. It's about 3 minutes long. That proves that I was in Amsterdam. I'm sure it looks like Amsterdam to me. So anyway, but that was a learning process. Amsterdam. It was a learning process. It was okay, but it showed what I can do and what I can't do, and what I could. You need to start somewhere when if I'm ever be able to travel again. So it was a start. No harm done anyway. I wasn't robbed. I wasn't ripped off or anything like that. It was a bit of a bummer though, and it drew the line on Amsterdam. I've been there many times, and it's a great city. But now there's a shady element, and there's so many of them. People from another continent creeping into Europe. I phrased that nicely, didn't I? Okay, so listen, I'll be back with another video. Do check out the Steady Eddie Live channel. I'm planning on, now that I'm here back in the UK, I don't feel like traveling very much, but I will be doing some live streams, plenty of live streams. So check that out. And Steady Eddie Live, it's called. It's my second channel. So have a good day. And I'm not going anywhere today, because it's raining. Then it's England. So have a good day.